Hey guys, it's Gina. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today, let's talk Sprouts. And I don't mean the fabulous grocery store that we can go to that has really good produce a lot of times, or at least my local one does. So I'm very thankful that we have one local, but I'm talking about actual Sprouts. So you would think that as somebody who eats vegetables like all the time, that I would have a garden. And you've heard the term green thumb, right? I have a black thumb. I can't grow a seed to save my life. I don't know what it is about gardening. I have trouble even with houseplants. It's just not my thing. So I do buy all my produce, and my hat off to those who actually can garden, because it really is a fabulous way to feed your family. And it's less expensive, and you get all the the great nutrients of getting it so fresh and ripe at the moment, instead of having it be picked green and shipped to the store. So I wish I could do a garden. I don't know if I just don't have the patience for it. I just don't have the inclination for it. Maybe now that I'm older, I'd be better at it. I don't know. But one thing I do grow are my own sprouts. Now, I don't know if you ever eat sprouts, but these things are expensive in the grocery store. They are so expensive. It's like you get a little box of them and they're like $5. Oh. So to me, that's really expensive, because it's so easy to grow these yourself, so you don't have to worry about it. So let me kind of show you how to do it, and then tell you how I eat them. So, all right. First, real simple, start with some sprouting seeds. Now, I think I got this set at Natural Grocers. So I've had it now probably 6 months. I do 2 jars at a time when I'm doing seeds. I've always got 2 jars going, and I use about 1.5 tablespoons in the jar. So all I do is I take my empty jar, which this isn't empty obviously, and I put 1.5 tablespoons of seeds in the bottom. I fill it up with water, okay? Then I have a couple of different screens that I have purchased over the years. This one is kind of a recent one that I've got from Amazon, and they're actually really nice because they work with the really small seeds so they don't go through. And it came actually in a little package with a little stand that holds the jar at an angle. So much easier than balancing it in a bowl, which is what I did for like 30 years. Not kidding. I actually took a cereal bowl and balanced my jar upside down at an angle, just like this. That's how I did it for 30 years. So I think I got 2 of these stands and 2 of these lid screen things for like $10 on Amazon. I will link below, be an affiliate link down there. But anyway, so I like these because they're so, I'm going to see if you can get a really good visual. It's very fine mesh, so it's the seeds won't fall through. Now, prior to me getting this set, I had this set right here, which includes this red set, and you can see how big the holes are now. The first one, you start with the yellow, then you move to the bigger holes on the green, and then you move to your red holes prior to harvesting. These, I'm probably going to wait another day or so and harvest. I'll probably harvest them Monday. So I'll probably go ahead and rinse them tonight and tomorrow night, and I'll show you all this. I'll tell you all about how to do that. So these little lid sets, I know you used to be able to get them at Whole Foods. You can probably still get them on Amazon. I'll look for a link and put it down there for you. But again, like I said, I love these little screens as well. But these, you do need to be able to change it out into something bigger so you can get the holes out. Okay, so how you do it. Okay, 1.5 tablespoons of seeds in a mason jar, wide mouth mason jar, okay? Nothing special there. Fill it full of water. Now, I don't use filtered water. I don't use purified water. I just use tap water. I don't know if that's good or bad. I just use tap water. But, so, 1.5 tablespoons. You could even do a tablespoon. If you do 2, it gets too, they just grow too much where they're just too bulky in there. So I do about 1.5 tablespoons. It's not an exact science. So don't go, oh, I have to get exactly 1.5 tablespoons. I just pour some in there. But anyway, fill it full of water, and I'll do this like, I don't know, in the evening, some evening. And then the next morning, after it's sat overnight in water, I swirl it around and I drain the water out with the lid on. Make sure you've got a screen on there. Obviously, the seeds will come out. So then I set it in my little thing, just like this. Ta-da! And this kind of shows you, this is some of the water that it's been draining out all day. But I use one of these little plant, it's an 8-inch plant disc. It's one of those little plastic things you get at Walmart or whatever. They're like 12 cents a piece. I have several of these, and I put my seeds and sprouts in there, and they just catch the water. And then when there's extra water, I just dump it out. Dump out the water. See, just a little. That's all I do. So, overnight water, then rinse it or drain it. Then turn it upside down. It sits at an angle. So it sits just like this. How pretty is that? Then the next evening, because you did that in the morning, so the next evening you fill it full of water. Again, I just use tap water, cold tap water. Swirl it around a little bit, and then just dump it out of the water. I pour most of it down the sink. Then I turn it upside down in this little stand. Then the next morning, fill it full of water, swirl it around, dump it out. And I mean, this takes like 45 seconds max, twice a day. And after about a week, you start getting sprouts. So, okay, perfect. Now, what I do with these, I eat them on almost everything. If we make sushi bowls, I eat sprouts on them. I love to make open face sandwiches. I recently found a recipe for quinoa bread. I will try to link below, because it is actually a whole food, plant-based, no oil, no salt, no sugar quinoa bread. Super easy to make, by the way. So I was so excited about that because it is easy to make. You do need a high-speed blender. Takes like 30 minutes. Well, probably about 15 minutes to put it together, and then it takes about 30 minutes for it to cook. So it's really not that labor intensive, and it makes kind of like a flatbread, like a pita bread type thing, but it's so good. I will link to that as well. And then I take a spread. So like I've talked before how we use like the ocean salad. I think that's in the China study book. And it's supposed to be like a tuna fish, mock tuna fish type thing, but they call it ocean salad. We also make a chick-an salad, which is from the Engine 2 cookbook. It's really good. It uses chickpeas and apricots and all kinds of yummies. We've also used an eggless salad that uses it uses tofu. And and then we've also made variations of, okay, you know, hummus is just basically chickpeas ground up and seasoned, right? So you can do that with other beans. You can make a black bean type hummus, and you can put all kinds of different seasonings and vegetables in there. Or you can make a Great Northern white bean hummus type thing. So we do make some sandwich spreads out of the different beans. That's just kind of, you know, we've just kind of put them together over the years. And so what I do, especially in the summertime for lunch, because this is so simple, is I'll take the quinoa flatbread, and I'll put the spread over it, whether it be the eggless salad, the chick-an salad, or the ocean salad, or one of the hummus type spreads that we make. And then I will top it with sprouts. And I will literally just, because the sprouts, I put a thick layer of sprouts on there too. So I kind of can hold it with the sprouts, and it doesn't get all like gooey on my fingers. And I'll eat that for lunch. And it is so good. Now, one of the reasons I like to eat sprouts is because they are so nutritious. You are getting the full nutrition of the plant from that seed that has come to life with a little bitty green on it. And you can Google this. There's not a ton of data out there, but you would have to go back into kind of Google more Asian style nutrition. Because think about it, you know, they use bean sprouts all the time in Asian food, and they have for centuries. So this mixture right here is actually alfalfa, radish, and broccoli. You can buy seeds individually, just alfalfa. You can buy individual radish. You can buy individual broccoli. You can buy individual kale. You can buy all kinds of sprouting seeds, different varieties, and you can either do them individually or you can mix them like I have done here, so it's like this nice little mix. And because I don't know if you can see the different size of the seeds in there. Let's see. There's different colors, different sizes. There's some big ones, some little bitty ones. Those are the different not brands, like alfalfa, kale, blah, blah, blah. So that's the different seeds that are in there. And the thing is about sprouting is you're getting the nutrition. The seed is the most nutritious part of the plant. And because it is a powerhouse. Because just think about it, the mighty oak comes from a seed, right? I mean, you know, a pine tree comes from a seed. They have their own seed pods that they drop down below, acorns, you know, pine nuts, all kinds of different, each tree has its own way of making its seedling. And when you get the seedling, that's what creates this huge tree. Just like broccoli seeds come up, and if I just planted these broccoli seeds, I would get a head of broccoli. But, so I'm getting all this nutrition of the broccoli in the broccoli seed. Now, it is a little bit different because it is not the full-grown plant, so there aren't, you know, different phytochemicals and things like that. So I'm not saying don't ever eat broccoli. But this is a great way to get fast nutrition, super easy. And the thing is that I just use it a lot of times in place of lettuce, or I'll add lettuce to it. I can eat some lettuce on top of that too. Sometimes I'll put a sheet of nori on top of it as well. So, you know, you can do a lot of things with it. So it's super easy, super fast. The startup is like not expensive. Like I said, the lids and the holders were like $10 on Amazon. I don't know how much the set of 3 with the red, the green, and the yellow were, because I've had them literally like 30 years. I mean, I have had these like 30 years. So obviously they hold up well. So, but I totally recommend that if you aren't sprouting, that you think about it. I will tell you that it is best if you can find a sunny spot next to a window that you can let them just sit during the day, because the chemistry from the sun will actually green them up a little bit better. You will find that if you don't, they are a little bit less green and a little bit more kind of yellowish color. But these have turned pretty nice and green. And like I said, I'll probably harvest these by Monday. I like to get a little longer just for preference of flavor. But I could eat those now if I wanted to. I just like the jar to get full up, and then I put them in a baggie, put them in the refrigerator, and honestly, they're gone in just a few days. So as soon as I harvest, I start another batch. So that's how you can sprout. So, so you can also do microgreens, and I buy microgreens when I actually go to the grocery store, and they're basically, you can get a little tray, and it's aquaponics, so it's not dirt or anything, but you're putting the seeds down there, and there's a system. I have never done microgreens that way. I've never grown them myself. I've always just done sprouts. So I'm thinking about, if I ever get a little free time, that's microgreens. So I'm hoping that maybe when school's out, I can actually maybe set up a microgreens tray. That might be kind of fun, because we do like to use microgreens in a lot of our salads. And I'll buy arugula, and I'll buy kale, and I'll buy broccoli. And those are a little bit bigger. Like the greens are about that big, the stems are about that big, and they're so tender and so good. But anyway, I just wanted to share something that I love to do. I love to eat, especially in this hot weather. You know, here we've had a pretty mild, it's been hot, you know, for Texas, but it's actually been pretty mild. I mean, I think the high today was like 90, which is ironic because usually we're hitting 100s by now. But I do hear that we're about to have a heat wave. But, you know, when it's hot and you just feel heavy if you eat too much, you know, like really heavy solid food, salads are good. But, you know, this is a way to get a little extra nutrition in your salads. And since you're growing them yourself, can, you rinse them out, and these little brown things are just the little hulls that come off of the seeds. And that's why the bigger holes do help, because by the time I harvest them, most of those hulls will be washed out of there. So, but they're not bad to eat. I mean, they're just skins of the seeds, so it's not like it's harmful or anything. But I just really wanted to share with you my quote-unquote gardening. And I have had so much fun getting back into sprouting again. I have had some times that I haven't been doing it as often, but we have been very into sprouts over the last, couple of months now, and I've just really enjoyed getting back into it. And it's so easy to do, even with the schedule that's as hectic as mine. And my toddler loves to help me. She'll help me measure out the, tablespoon and a half, and she'll help me pour the water in the jar, and then she likes to watch them grow. I mean, because that's just like, wow. So, it's the little things in life. That's how we chase our sunsets. So, I hope that you have a fabulous week. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll put some links down below, affiliate links for a couple of the cookbooks that I mentioned with the recipes and the sprouting lids. It's a super simple hobby. It's super inexpensive to get into. And you really don't need much space. If you've got a windowsill, you're good to go. You can use a bowl, like I did, a little salad bowl, or you can get these little stands. And like I said, the whole set was like $10 for the stands even. So I was like, of course. So just find a little hobby that you like and go chase that sunset. And thanks for stopping by. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you next week chasing your sunset. Bye.